Reaver, a stylish movement arena indie shooter that infects you with the all too common FPS dry eye. It's fast and it's intense, and it's got more pixels on the screen than a Doom Eternal stand can shake a meat hook at. It's got a wide selection of weapons to match, and focuses heavily on balancing movement and weapon combo gameplay. But equally pushes elevation as a factor in most maps, mixing enemy variety and nearly creating a bullet hell sped up. Yes, speed and reaction time is the name of the game here, lovingly placing Reaver in that weird subculture of FPS shooter games called movement shooters or rhythm shooters. I'm inclined to call it a rhythm shooter, mostly because the music is a huge part of this game's DNA. It really shows. Everything from the beat when you stomp, to the power-ups and the explosions, and movement and catching around the map adds to the groove that is Reaver, pushing you forward and creating the perfect combination of movements, dashes, wall runs, infinite meat hook grabs, and weapon combos. For me, it's a beat shooter, rhythm shooter, movement shooter. It's all of these things. It is Reaver. Seriously though, the soundtrack is really sick, and if the developers are listening to me right now, please drop the soundtrack on Spotify or something. It's actually so epic. I need it for gym and I need it for working. Please help me. The beat of the music helps you keep pace of your movement and firing in the game. I find this unique and just a really awesome feature. Taking a step back for a second, let's have a look at the Reaver's aesthetic design. It screams cyberpunk to me, but I have to admit, this takes cyberpunk and neon-drenched walls to a different level. Considering you, the main character, and every other character you meet along the way, and enemies are all machines, I'm inclined to call this more machine punk? Whatever you call it, the hyper-colored vector-based look bleeds energy and power in every arena, making it unique. No run is boring or uninspired. In fact, every arena makes you feel like you're playing through a vast machine universe. One it has only begun to reveal the secrets of. The arenas themselves feel unique to each other, with some slight similarities of course. The 5 levels currently available in the demo scream for expansion though. There is one section that actually gives you an area that says still being developed, so that bodes well. For now, my favorite is the Machine City. Well, it's called the city, but it's basically the Machine City. And they do feel unique to me. I know there are some similarities, and duh, that's the aesthetic, but I do feel each arena gives you something different to play with. Everything from tight spaces to huge arena spaces. Massive, in fact. So big that some of the enemies got lost along the way. I'd be very disappointed if the creators played it safe long term and didn't develop out some more eccentric, crazy play spaces for us to go into. The verticality alone in some areas is really exciting for me. It bleeds excitement. It gives you a sense of mechanical electricity, wanting you to enjoy every aspect of this game, forcing you to run up these walls, climb these towers, and shoot everything from the top. That's also not too distracting. I found it very engaging. The verticality aspect is definitely a unique point in this game. Also, ladies' butts. I don't know why. The developers obviously like ladies' butts, and fair enough, who doesn't like good butts? Seriously though, the game is very beautiful, though I didn't realize on my first run that I was running at 145 FPS, which nearly wrote off my machine. I had to bring it down to 60. There is an unlimited option where you can run as many FPS as you actually want to. I obviously didn't do that because I like my Darlene machine. I'm not really going to talk about any bugs in this video. I don't think it's necessary. The game is still in demo and in development. That would be a little bit unfair in my opinion. So we're going to focus on the positives. Speaking of positives, this game has a lot of long-term potential. Not only do we get 5 levels in this demo, but there is aspects of the game that shows you there is a want to create an entire world for you. One of them being the shop, or several shops in fact. It does seem that you will be able to buy upgrades, weapons, and polish out your gameplay style for both replayability and speedrunning. I think this is a pretty neat touch, something that a lot of FPS games don't really do these days. I don't know if it's going to be a winner in this case, but it does provide you something unique to play with. Creating your own, I can imagine a playthrough where you build your own special kind of loadout for a different playstyle. I prefer revolvers, so I'd build out something like that. Other people prefer speedrunning, so they would build things into that. I think the shop is unique, and I do think it has potential to develop out the game a little bit more and increase its replayability. And at the end of the day, this shop from a narrative point of view is going to give you everything you need to, as the game says, go fuck them up. Speaking of fucking things up, let's talk about the weapons quickly. Reaver has quite a huge selection of weapons, if I do have to be honest. It's got 4 primary weapons with 4 variants each, more or less. The first and my favorite is the revolver and pistol variant, the red and the blue. You'll notice that this is a trend throughout the game where you have red and blue versions of every gun. That's a pretty cool way to make those different. The revolvers alone give you 4 different movesets each, which gives you unlimited combinations to play around with. The revolver gives you a single shot, a multi-shot combo, a power shot move, and one that I haven't even tried yet, if I'm honest. Then you get the shotgun and the meat hook shotgun, or the red and the blue shotgun. The red shotgun gives you rage, which lets you go crazy with akimbo shotguns and blast everything in front of you. The blue shotgun gives you a meat hook, just like Doom Eternal, which is pretty sick, and also gives you its own power-up. I think the red shotgun also gives you a black hole, which sucks everything in, and then you can just go to town. Essentially, the combination would be black hole, rage power, destroy everything, lots of blood. It'll be epic. Then you get the machine guns. Now, the machine guns are very interesting because you can go machine gun akimbo with the red, and essentially it's so powerful, it makes you hover in mid-air. That's how strong these bloody machine guns are. Sure, the accuracy is a bit weak, but it does power a lot of damage per second over a wide area. So if you're going up against a bunch of melee opponents, this is actually pretty handy. On the other hand, the blue machine gun is sort of like a plasma laser rifle, which has a grenade launcher. It's pretty groovy. I like it. And then finally, in the artillery section, you have what amounts to a rocket launcher, which combines a mixture of rockets, but also this weird spray mechanic. I'm not really sure what it does. I didn't find it as useful as maybe I should have, but rocket launcher. A+ for that. There is no blue version of the rocket launcher as of yet, though if you scroll through the menus, you can see that there is potential to have many more guns in place. I love this kind of approach to guns. You're going to find yourself wanting to mix up the guns to the perfect insane combo, killing many different enemies with many different weapon combos all at the same time, and that's nothing to say about your movements, earth slam, and bounce, and daggers, all combined to create this really weird Reaver dance. All the while, you're going to be trying to balance out health and essentially optimizing your third sense of enemy placements throughout every map. I like this. Reaver does attempt to combine high velocity weapon combos and movements all in the same space. It's a really refreshing take. Especially if you're going to go in on the higher difficulties. I jumped in on the Relentless difficulty on my first run ever, and while I did find it challenging, I didn't find it overpowering. It took me a little bit longer to get through each level, sure. Relentless I would equate to being Doom's ultra violence, if I'm perfectly honest. I think the developers really nailed the interplay of gun combinations and movements for me in this game, taking lessons and inspirations from other rhythm shooters or movement shooters from the past and creating its own unique beat, and I think that's pretty cool. This is a fun one. It's slightly addictive. The final game is going to be changed. It's going to be very different to this demo, and we acknowledge that. That's what demos are for. It's to showcase some of the cooler bits and pieces, and I highly recommend you go and give this one a try. The whole point of videos like this is to let you know about something awesome out there in the world. Go and give it a try, support the creators, and hopefully one day we get an awesome FPS out of it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I am Hyacsho, telling you, don't miss Reaver. Please take care, rip and tear.